Good morning, everybody. Karen Mays here. And I have so much going through my mind. And what I want to talk to you today is about a fundamental choice. This is something that we talk about in coaching. And I'll be honest, I have now made a fundamental choice to live a healthier lifestyle, to live a healthy lifestyle. And but I didn't the first day. I first started my health journey in November of 2015, believing that I was just starting another diet. So I hadn't made a fundamental choice to pursue health at that point. But when I opened up our Habits of Health book, when I was, significantly into my journey, I'll be honest. and one of the first things in that book, Dr. Anderson, who's the co-founder of Optavia, the program that I coach, he says, have you made the fundamental choice to pursue health, to pursue a healthy lifestyle? And I said, well, I don't know what that means, really. What does that mean? And then he went on to describe the difference between a fundamental choice and a secondary choice. And those secondary choices are the things that we usually think about when we think about pursuing health. It's what we're choosing to eat, when we're choosing to eat, how much we're exercising and moving, and the mechanics and the guardrails that we put in place. And when I read those words, when it was presented to me in black and white like that, at that moment, I remember that moment, I was sitting in the library. I decided to go read at the library. I was sitting in the library and I said to myself, yes, I have made that fundamental choice. It's true now. And what that meant was I stopped focusing on, stopped defining success and failure as whether I had been good or not that day. It took the idea of quitting and giving up out of the equation. Because once you've made the fundamental choice, it's done. And you just focus on the how. And we have these wonderful principles and guidelines that we help people and that have helped me change my life. So these principles and guidelines help to support that fundamental choice. But there's so much flexibility in between, in the gray area, the beautiful gray area. I was just on a call with a bunch of other coaches this morning, and we talked about the beautiful gray area. And that is where you find your dance and what it looks like for you. There is so much detail and so many secondary choices to make in the beautiful gray area. And that's where you get to decide who you are in this healthy lifestyle. And that's the really exciting thing. That's the really exciting thing for me as a coach and for me as someone living the journey, to see that, to see how people interpret that and what it looks like for them and how it can be so different for me. And that really keeps the journey exciting too. It's the difference between being complacent and striving. It keeps me striving, which I want to be. I always want to be striving and not complacent, but also managing to appreciate the work that I have done to bring me to this point, or whatever has brought me to this point. And I'll tell you about another example in my own life. My husband and I made the fundamental choice to start building wealth rather than managing debt. And that, has been a radical paradigm shift in our house. And once you make that fundamental choice, it doesn't mean that you never think about quitting. It doesn't mean that there aren't days when you want to quit. I mean, just yesterday, there's something I wanted to do. I could throw it on a credit card, but no, I made the choice not to do that already. It doesn't mean temptation doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that I have never felt like quitting or not, living out my healthy habits. And it doesn't mean I haven't had bad days and bad weeks and maybe even bad months. And, but the option to quit, I removed it. I removed it when I made the fundamental choice to create health and then later on to create wealth. And it just takes, instead of managing circumstances and managing other people's expectations and managing my macros and managing, I'm creating. I'm creating, and it's about putting guardrails and boundaries and setting myself up for success. And when it comes to food, making the choice at the grocery store so that I don't have to make it 1,000 times at home. It's all these little things to support that fundamental choice. Because you know what? When you're just trying to do a diet and follow a certain thing, then you fail one day. This is what I did 1,000 times. You fail one day and, oh, I guess that didn't work. I guess that's over. But when you've made a fundamental choice, it's never over. It's just a bad moment or a bad day, a suboptimal moment. So have you made the fundamental choice to create what you want? Whether it's health, whether it's better mental well-being, whether it's wealth, it's all related. Very few people are doing, full tilt awesome financially and not doing a great job with their mental well-being and their relationships and living a fulfilled life. So it really pays. You can focus on an area, absolutely. But to realize that you're a whole person and maybe there's a fundamental choice missing and you're just trying to manage all the details and calling that success or failure, when really it's time to zoom out and make a fundamental choice of some kind. So that's what I'm posing to you today. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that. I'm looking forward to the rest of July. We've crossed the halfway mark of this year. I'm doing my arms challenge. I'm doing my push-ups challenge, and just loving my coach community, my healthy communities. People are making, when you're surrounded by people, and some people are, there are moments of struggle, and we share about that too. It's very, very authentic. But when you're surrounded by people who are working on something, they're doing their own thing, and they're sharing, and they're living out loud, and inspiring others, and taking inspiration when they need it from others, there's nothing like it. And it's so much fun. It's so much, oh my goodness. I had calls with my clients yesterday that were amazing. And it's just, there's nothing like it. So I leave you with that and hope you are having a wonderful Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. And I'll be back with you soon.